Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for for February 2023. We're going to jump right in here, Cancer, and we're going to see what's going on for you. You have this fulfillment card and this flattery card. So there could be a person who's coming in who is trying to flatter you. And I don't know. I think it's working here, Cancer, is what I would say to you, because you do have the Ten of Swords, but it's almost like you've kind of healed from something that has been a difficult ending, and now maybe you're ready for new fulfillment with the Ace of Pentacles. It seems to me like it's like the very beginning. I also get the feeling that some of you, it's like you could be meeting a person if you're looking for love, and maybe you're not, but maybe you're kind of like in this place of healing, right? And I feel like this person kind of comes in with an offer and you're just kind of like, okay, I'll let this person put in the work and I'll see what happens. So I do feel like you could be attracting a person who really puts in the work, or who's going to be putting in the effort, right, that you are looking for. So this could be very good for love for you this month, Cancer, but let's see what we have going on for you. I do feel like there's some sort of fulfillment coming in for you, and someone's gassing you up here, Cancer. I would say also in work or business. You know, I feel that someone either sees your potential or sees that you could be very successful at doing something. You could be flattered by an offer. It's like maybe a boss gives you an opportunity to get a raise or a promotion. The other interesting thing is that the words I'm getting on this Ten of Swords are just when you thought you would quit or something. It's kind of weird because it's popping into my head as a warning, number one, where it's like sometimes I think we, in relationships, if we feel like a yo-yo, like we're just this back and forth energy with a person where maybe it's not really going anywhere, but maybe when we're just about to quit, it's like that's when they start putting in more effort, almost like they could sense it. If again, that feels very specific to me. If you have experienced that, the yo-yo, right, then I feel like this is saying it needs to come to an end, because this is a never-ending story. The other thing that I'm getting here, though, is that for some of you, this could be in work or business. Maybe you've been thinking about looking for something else. And I would say if that's the case, then different story, right? If you have been thinking about looking for something else and you get a raise offer, maybe in business, you get a big client just when you were about to quit, I kind of feel like this is the universe saying, no, you're on the right track. Keep going. So I know two different stories, but that's what I'm getting there. You have the Four of Swords, definitely a time of recovery. The beginning of this year is a little tricky. As I said this in the 2023 readings, I think things really start to get better for water signs in particular when we get to like the middle of March. So we're close. We're getting there. I know it feels slow. I know it feels like it's taking a long time, but there are blessings coming in for you. You end with the Star, and there's a person in this stained glass window right here who is receiving blessings from another person. So I feel there are blessings coming into your life, or there are blessings that will be showing up for you soon. And I would be patient, but again, I also feel like recovery or getting yourself in the right space would be a good idea. It's also popping into my head that, like, let's say you're looking for love. There is a certain energy I feel that will attract really good love, but it has to come from a healed place of loving yourself. Same thing with money. It's like I feel that money could be coming in for you if you are working on your money blocks, if you're overcoming money blocks, or looking at the reasons why you are blocking money in the first place, right? So anything you can do, meditation, there are tons of free meditations on YouTube. Like, I would be doing that stuff if I were you, because, it could be just a good time for you to overcome these things. Whenever I see like the Four Swords and the Star, to me, this is healing energy. It's kind of like overcoming energy as well. But I think like meditation, visualizing, journaling, all these things would be really good here. You have the Ace of Pentacles. There's some sort of opportunity coming in for you. It's not really a surprise, but I do feel it's just a little surprising because, again, maybe you thought you were going to quit your business or your job, and then something comes in last minute. It's almost like something, it's kind of like that at the final hour, at the final second. Something, it's kind of like a buzzer beater or whatever they call it, whatever you want to call it. It's like something is kind of coming in just when you're about to let go. In love, I would be careful, especially if you feel like someone is stringing you along. I'm here to tell you, yes, they are. Never-ending story, right? I feel that you probably deserve much better. But if this is in work or business, I would keep going. I feel this is saying maybe, let's say you get a client at the last minute when you're about to quit. I feel like this is saying you are very close. You are very close to doing what you do. This reading is clearly encouraging innovation as well. So let's say this is in business. I feel like it's saying you're going to get that client that like saves the day, but it's kind of also saying like, but also maybe this client comes in with an offer that you're not so sure about. Maybe it's something different than what you would normally do, and I would take on the challenge. I really feel this reading is also saying, accept the challenge, whatever this challenge is. Let's find out. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Five of Swords. Yes, take the risk. For some of you, I do feel this is like a separation. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But the thing is, you have that fulfillment card. I feel like you're finding fulfillment through letting this like back and forth yo-yo situation, that has been in your life, and I can tell you as someone who, again, not to, spill my dirty laundry here or whatever, but it's like I've experienced it where, I was with a person for years where it was just like back and forth and just there was really no fulfillment there, so I feel like what you need to look for is true fulfillment, right? With the Four of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles. You're ready to get moving is what this tells me. Four of Swords says, you've been going through this healing period. Now you're ready to put the work in. Like, I feel like you've healed is what that's saying. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Swords. This is a victory. This is almost like a reward for you here, right here, because you have two aces. I almost feel the universe is rewarding you for whatever you went through or through some challenges that you went through as well. Next, in the area of what you don't see coming, you have this tree card. It says stability and growth. You have this turtle that says slowness and protection. Like I said, until the middle of March, I think it's kind of this one foot in front of the other energy on projects and businesses and things that you're working on. Again, I would encourage you to one foot in front of the other. Mostly because people who do it are going to be successful. I think it was Jerry Seinfeld. He talks about having a giant calendar where you put X's on it, right? You commit to a goal. His was writing one joke a day. And he says, don't break the chain. No matter what, you always have to put a big red X on your calendar so that you don't break the chain, right? And I think that would be a good thing for you, is like having, a daily practice or having a purpose or something where maybe it is slow and steady, but I think by the time you get to the end of the year, you're going to be like thousands of % better at whatever it is you're trying to improve in your life. And, I think it's just good practice is what I would say here. You have this Nine of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, I feel, is, this, what I will say is, number one, I don't think there's anything unexpected coming in for you. I always say, even though I label these rows, I don't try to make them fit. If they don't fit, I read intuitively and I get the messages that I get. But what I would say here is that I think the energy that we are in is very much exploratory. I think the energy we are in is open to interpretation as well. And what I mean by that is if you have some sort of crazy goal, wish, or dream, especially with Pluto going into Aquarius, it could be for something that the world has never seen, right? So you could be creating something the world has never seen, and guess what? The people who do that are going to get attention, are going to stand out, are going to be successful, are going to find fulfillment, and they're going to get a lot of attention with the star card here. So, I encourage pretty much everyone to do this, but definitely you. It's like, go on the adventure. Don't be afraid to walk into the unknown with that Eight of Cups. And again, the Eight of Cups right next to it, it kind of fits in very well with the astrology. We're in between this eclipse time. And, whenever we're like in between eclipses, I think as Leo King calls it like fate train time or whatever. So there's like a lot of fated events, right? And the next set of eclipses starts in April, which is kind of around that mid-March time. I know it's not exactly right, but, it's pretty close. So I feel for some of you, there could be a lot of clarity that you are kind of developing between now and April, now in the middle of March, whatever you want to call it. Who knows? And what I would say here is that walking into darkness and being brave, being bold, being assertive, those are the things that are going to lead to the star. Wish fulfillment, success, happiness. And you have the Eight of Pentacles here. Again, I feel like there's a big opportunity. If you put the work in, you are going to be successful. I feel like you're focusing on things. It's like focusing on one thing at a time could be very beneficial for you. Not deleting your focus, not removing your focus. I kind of feel like a daily practice would be very beneficial for you as well. And just kind of like making those 1% improvements. Also, it's like with YouTube, for example, they're pushing out this shorts thing, right? It's like I don't necessarily really want to do shorts, but it's like if you're going to do YouTube, you have to play the game, right? So it's like my new thing is I've been working on, I'm going to start creating 4 shorts a day, and maybe they won't be good, maybe they will. But my whole point is I'm going to be making 1% improvements every single day. You're going to watch it happen real time. So again, as I always say, I do this. That's how I grew this channel, right? I just started making 1% improvements like 3 years ago, whatever it was. And I went from being stuck to exploding the channel. So, I'm living proof here, Cancer, that those like 1% improvements add up big time over time. You have the Nine of Wands here. Literally my card of experimentation, so anything you can do to experiment would be a good idea. I do feel if you want love, by the way, it would be a good idea to open up with this energy. Again, I just get the feeling that they're, for some of you, maybe you've been through a difficult period of time as far as love is concerned, and there could be a person coming in here, but, I would be open to it. I would also say I don't really see this as a love reading. I see this as a personal development, improvement, business reading for you. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Knight of Cups. As I say that, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be a Knight in Shining Armor. I just think, again, the reason I say this is probably not a love reading is because I feel like you're more maybe working on improving yourself. But again, as I always say, that's not going to stop a person from approaching you if they want to, right? You don't have to accept them into your life, of course not. But again, I do feel like there could be a person like a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you. And I think I was saying something at the beginning of the reading where maybe some of you are like, oh, this person looks really good, so maybe I'll let them put the work in and see what happens. What's interesting is I think you get a little bit nervous because there might be a lot of competition for this person. But again, intuitively, I kind of feel this person could lead to a lot of fulfillment in life. It's like, it doesn't matter. I think they're not the type of person to even look at the competition, is what I'd say. And the other thing is that I think they make that very obvious. I've been telling people for the past 2 years with Neptune and Pisces with love, it's kind of weird because it's like we can get caught up in the fantasy and we ignore the evidence, right? So I keep telling people, trust the evidence in love. It's like maybe the person has a lot of competition, but do they engage with the competition? If they're engaging with a competition, that is evidence that is not good. If they don't engage with a competition, then maybe that they only have eyes for you, right? So trust the evidence. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Six of Cups. This is a major improvement. Six of Cups could be a soulmate, number one. But number two, in work or business, Six of Cups can represent a turnaround, meaning that obstacles are being removed from your life, from maybe a certain area of your life where there have been obstacles or challenges or difficulties. This to me looks like kind of like a removal of the obstacle is what I'm getting. That is a gift from the universe. And didn't I say the Ace of Pentacles was like a reward from the universe or something? I think I did, and that's really what I'm getting here. With the Page of Wands, you have the Hermit. I mean, Hermit is like, it's like, okay, you've been through a lot of lessons. He's normally standing at the top of the mountain, right? And he's shining his inner light, which is actually the star in his lantern. And you have the star over here. I always say that he needs to shine his star. It's like saying, this to me is like saying you've been through all these lessons, you've learned some things, now it's time to put those things that you've learned into practice. I always tell people, it's like, people always leave comments on my videos. They're always like, all these people hurt me, so people are horrible, I don't want love. It's like, no, what you're saying is you didn't learn and you don't know what to put into practice. So you need to look at your past relationships and say, okay, I learned this, this, and this. I know what to avoid now. I know what to look for. I know what I want. I need to stop telling that story. I need to focus on what I want. Same thing in business. As someone who has had 1 billion business failures and who has several successful businesses now, it's like, I can tell you, it's like you have to learn from those things. You can't let them stop you. And I was stuck for 3 years. I always tell a story. For 3.5 years, I did nothing after a major business failure that I had because I felt like a loser, right? So I just did nothing. But I learned a lot during that time. But what I would say is that you really have to kind of not let it stop you. What I did is I allowed it to make me overthink, right? And I kind of get that energy here. That's why I'm telling you this. I feel like there's a little bit, just a tiny bit of overthinking. And it's saying, well, you need to, it's uncertainty. You're just not trusting yourself. And I think you need to look at what you have learned from the past, and you need to say, okay, I know what to look out for. I just didn't trust it. If I really look at the past people I dated, they told me exactly what was going to happen, which I believe people tell us exactly what's going to happen. Every single person I've ever been with has told me exactly what's going to happen right at the beginning of the relationship, right? I just don't listen. So it's like, can you listen now? Can you pay attention? Can you not be in such a rush to be in a relationship with a person that when they tell you they're a player, can you just say, okay, well, not for me, right? And you can let go in peace, right? You don't have to be mean to the person. You just say, that's who they are. That's fine. I am who I am. I'm looking for something different, right? So stick up for yourself. That is a form of sticking up for yourself, which clearly needs to happen. I feel very passionate about this in your reading here, Cancer, that is sticking up for yourself. Same thing in business. If your boss says to you, I'll give you a raise in 6 months, and they don't, can you stick up for yourself here? In your next row of what's coming towards you, you have this card that says, realize you have all the qualities to be a leader, but you have to stick up for yourself to do it. You have this legal card, dealing with a legal issue or lessons in life. Literally, we talked about this. It says seek an expert, especially in legal matters. If you're dealing with something legal, I'd seek an expert. But really, I feel like the legal card, you can see it kind of looks like the justice card, is about making sure that you're getting balance, that you're getting, but more than balance. You want to put energy into a situation and get something back. Are you sticking up for yourself and getting that, or are you allowing people to steamroll you, right? And I really feel that here in this reading, if you can't tell. You have the Five of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. This is very important here, this Eight of Cups, I feel, because, this card sometimes kind of reminds me of, like, people who are very confident, people who are willing to eat alone in a restaurant, for example, or do something similar and not be afraid to do it, right? He's walking into darkness. I personally think the Eight of Cups is a good card because he's walking towards fulfillment, and he's also kind of trusting himself. He's walking away from something that once was fulfilling to go find true fulfillment, but he's not allowing this to control him. Most people, they see the Eight Cups and they're like, well, this is better than nothing. He doesn't accept that. He's like, no, I was investing in these Eight Cups. I got nothing for it, so I'm going to move on to something where I actually get something for it. He's not afraid to be alone. He's not afraid to go look for a better job or a business. He kind of, doesn't fall prey to fantasies, right? And I feel like that's what is going on here. You have the Knight of Swords. Again, I feel there could be rushing communication coming in for you. There's definitely a person who's interested in you. I feel like there's a lot of competition for this person. I just wouldn't rush the situation. I'm going to say it to all the water signs. I think that right now, if I were a water sign, and I would be waiting to get super serious until like the middle of March, somewhere around there, just based off the astrology for water. I just would take your time. Don't rush. Maybe you need to start with someone as a friend. Maybe you need to start and just take it slow for just the next like month and a half. But if you do that, then you're going to be successful because you didn't rush. So I would take your time in love. For others, there's something here about going on an adventure like we already talked about. But again, I feel like it's just, starting something with the Eight of Cups, walking away from things that no longer serve you. With the Five of Wands, you have the Strength card. I mean, this whole entire reading says you've developed quite a bit of strength in your life. You've developed, confidence. And I feel like people are even seeing it as well. And like I said, when we stick up for ourselves and we say to a person, no, I'm not going to, you're a great person, but I'm just not looking for what you're looking for. When we do that, then the universe is like, well, they're serious. So here you go. Here's your reward for your strength. So that's what I'd be doing there. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, again, collect the evidence. Seven of Pentacles, he's normally looking at those seven pentacles. He's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? So I kind of almost feel, normally it's a card of change in direction, but I kind of feel like this is saying any situation, love, business, work, it's like, can you take a pause, look at it and say, is this worth it? Is it going to fulfill me or not? And if the answer is no, don't accept it. Don't just accept something just to accept it, is what this part of the reading is saying to me. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Devil. Yes, Devil's in the details. I'm telling you right now, I got this message in the last set of readings I did. I can't remember what that was, but I was getting some sort of message about like the devil being in the details, or people really needing to pay attention to the fine print. So I'm not even getting traditional like devil energy here. I would just say if you're entering into a contract, a business, a relationship, don't be paranoid, but just pay attention to the details and you'll be fine. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this never-ending story card. Again, your story has been the same. I think you need to look at the evidence, look at what you didn't pay attention to, look at the good things as well, and focus on the good, get rid of the rest. And that's what I would do here with this energy. You have the Ten of Wands as well. Definitely, like, you're on the home stretch here, is what I would say. I feel that in a lot of ways, he has planted those wands in his field, and now he's about to have a harvest. He's about to bring them to his home out here. So it's a card of completion and a card of wrapping things up, and I feel like you're wrapping some projects up. You have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords about needing to kind of trust your intuition, I feel, for you. That's not the only thing it means, but for you, intuitively, I'm kind of getting something here about trusting your intuition, or really needing to listen to your intuition and how it's guiding you. I feel like that's what your future self is saying. Like, you could be getting dreams, daydreams. You could be seeing repeating numbers when you think about something. And I almost feel this is like your future self, the universe saying like, hey, wake up, pay attention to what you are seeing. You have the Star card as well, so there's clearly some wish fulfillment or just fulfillment coming in for you. Also, a lot of opportunity in this reading to stand out. So that's what I'd be focusing on here. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Judgment card. Yes, waking up to a new life. Things are about to change for you here, Cancer. I mean, normally on the Judgment card, there are people rising out of coffins. Inside the coffin is their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. You're being called to something much greater. And again, it could be something the world has never seen before. Like I said earlier in the reading, I really get that feeling that some of you, maybe it's not that dramatic, right? But I feel like you could be creating things that maybe no one in your family has ever done before. Maybe you're like the first to go to college. Maybe you're the first to millionaire. Maybe you're the first to write a book or something like that. I really see a lot of you doing that. And again, I kind of attribute this to like Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is kind of like breaking tradition. So, that could be what's going on here. With the Two of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. Don't be afraid of heartbreak either. It's like, maybe you're kind of dealing with a heartbreak with a person, and I feel like you're just healing from it with the star. With the star card, you have the Ten of Swords. You're definitely healing from some sort of ending, I feel. For a lot of you, start and end with the Ten of Swords. So you had a difficult ending, and I feel like now you're like moving forward here, Cancer. Maybe it hasn't been easy, but again, I feel like you need to look at what you learned, like I said, this entire reading. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this Carrot card. It says opportunity or windfall, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. That's the only thing I would be focusing on is new opportunities that could lead to a windfall or abundance. You have this Arrow card. It says you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Keep pushing forward. I feel like you're going in the right direction. You have this Yoke card. It says feeling tied down or frustrated, 10 of Wands. But again, I feel it's just really, again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like there's just a little bit of a slow energy between now and the middle of March. And like I said, but there's a difference because I feel like there is progress, but you just have to maybe look a little bit closer to see it. You have this Happiness card. I would protect your happiness and your peace at all cost, but I do feel you are going to have a lot of reasons to be happy. You also have this Wedge. It says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. I would be careful of that, especially until the middle of March. Again, Mars is no longer retrograde, but we're still in the shadow, so I would be careful of people who are causing issues. But this looks like fulfillment to me, Cancer.